She slept with her best friend the night we met. Her friends laughed it off as old history. A year later, I was the one reviewing her new boyfriend's company contract. It was one of those nights that feel too perfect to end badly. The rooftop bar glowed under 100 tiny fairy lights, the kind that make even half-truths look softer. The air smelled of citrus and summer rain, and for a moment, everything between us felt normal. It was her birthday. Her friends had planned the whole thing. Laughter bounced between the tables, glasses clinked, and someone had started a playlist full of nostalgic pop hits from college. She was radiant, laughing so hard she almost spilled her drink, and I remember thinking, this is what happiness looks like. Until one of her friends said it. Oh my God, remember when you slept with Dylan the same night you met him? It was loud enough for the whole table to hear. The laughter didn't stop right away. It lingered awkwardly, unsure if it should die or continue. She froze, her smile faltering for half a second before snapping back into place. That was forever ago, she said quickly, waving her hand. Before I even met him, she added, pointing to me like I was some innocent bystander in her timeline. Her friends giggled, trying to smooth it over, but none of them looked me in the eye. I didn't laugh. I didn't say a word. I just stared at her, not angry, not shocked, just quietly studying her expression like I was seeing her for the first time. She noticed. She reached across the table, touched my wrist. Hey, she said softly. You know that was before us. It's not a big deal, right? I smiled, but something in me went cold. Of course, I said. Ancient history. Ancient history. We'd met 9 months ago, and the way her friends exchanged those silent glances told me everything I needed to know. It wasn't ancient. It wasn't even history. I didn't confront her that night. I didn't ruin her birthday or make a scene. Instead, I ordered another drink, laughed when I was supposed to, and acted like I didn't notice her hand trembling slightly when she held her glass. When she excused herself to go to the restroom, I watched her phone light up on the table, Dylan's name flashing across the screen. My chest tightened, but my face stayed calm. I picked up the phone. I didn't unlock it, not yet. But I knew then that this wasn't a one-time mistake. This was something rehearsed, practiced, hidden under smiles and half-truths. When she came back, she kissed me on the cheek and whispered, "Don't look so serious, babe. It was just a joke." I kissed her forehead and smiled. "You're right," I said. "Just a joke." But I knew the punchline was coming, and this time, I'd be the one delivering it. The next morning, she woke up late. Makeup still smudged, her phone clutched in her hand like a security blanket. I watched her for a second before pretending to scroll through emails. She stretched, groaned softly, and smiled when she saw me. "You were quiet last night," she said, voice groggy. "Everything okay?" "Yeah," I replied. "Just tired." She kissed my shoulder and disappeared into the shower. That's when her phone buzzed again, a cascade of notifications lighting up the screen. I glanced down, pretending not to notice, but one preview froze me in place. The Coven Kissmark Fire, that was the name of the group chat. It was her and 4 of her closest friends, the same ones from last night. The same ones who had laughed when her old history slipped out. I didn't open it yet. Instead, I went into the kitchen, made coffee, and waited. I had no proof yet, just suspicion. But when she left for brunch later that day, forgot her phone on the couch, and asked me to keep it safe, I took it as permission from the universe. I opened the chat. The first message was from Lydia, the loudest one from last night. "OMG, he looked like he saw a ghost when you mentioned Dylan face with tears of joy." Then another. "You need to chill with those stories before he figures out the timeline, lol." And then hers, my girlfriend's message. "He's not dumb. I think he's starting to suspect something." I kept scrolling. The messages weren't just about the night she met me and Dylan. They were about me. All of them. Every argument, every date, every little detail of my life turned into gossip and strategy. "Just tell him you were single." Guys never check dates. If he brings it up again, cry. Works every time. He's so easy to calm down. Just promise him something later. It wasn't just betrayal. It was choreography. They'd been rehearsing their lies like a script. And then I saw another name join the conversation, one I didn't expect. Dylan. He'd been added a few weeks ago. His first message was short. "So he still doesn't know?" Lydia replied with a laughing emoji. "Nah, she's got him wrapped. He's a sweetheart." And then came her reply. "Let's keep it that way until after my birthday." Until after her birthday. Yesterday. My hands were shaking, but not from anger, from clarity. Everything fell into place. Every small inconsistency, every forgotten message, every night she claimed to be out with the girls. I wasn't dating one person, I was dating a committee. I screenshotted everything. Every message, every photo, every timestamp. I sent it to myself and to a secure drive. I wasn't going to explode or yell or demand explanations. I was going to let her words speak for themselves. That night, she came home glowing from brunch, a small bag of pastries in her hand. She kissed me, slipped her arms around my neck, and said, "You're being weird lately." "We good. We're great," I said, smiling, because I already knew what I was going to do next. She thought she was the one pulling the strings. But she didn't realize the curtain was already falling, and I was the one holding the spotlight. Update 1 the next evening, she suggested a game night with her friends, the same four from the coven. "Just a casual thing," she said, pretending not to notice how carefully I agreed. They arrived around 8 p.m., dressed up, laughing too loud, the wine already flowing before the door even closed. The air buzzed with fake energy, and she kept glancing at me as if checking whether I was still in character. I played along perfectly. Jokes, drinks, cards, small talk. No tension, no coldness, just me, smiling. When her phone buzzed on the table, I saw the name again. The Coven Kissmark Fire. I picked it up casually. "You've got a message," I said. "Oh, ignore it," she laughed. "Probably just memes." I nodded and connected my laptop to the TV. "Speaking of memes," I said calmly, "you guys might like this one." The screen flickered, and the group chat appeared, projected across the 50-inch TV for everyone to see. At first, there was confusion, then silence, then horror. The messages scrolled automatically, one by one, the laughter emojis, the comments, the plan to keep it quiet until after my birthday. Her hand shot out to grab the remote, but I'd already disconnected it. "You, what the hell is this?" she hissed. "You tell me," I said quietly. Lydia looked like she'd seen a ghost. Two of the girls tried to cover their faces. And then, just as the tension reached its breaking point, a notification popped up. Dylan joined the chat. The room froze. He typed something. One line. "Guess the secret's out." Her breath caught. She whispered his name, half in shock, half in guilt. "Dylan, what are you?" I turned back to her and said, "I backed everything up. The messages, the timestamps, the calls. I don't need an explanation. Just honesty." Her eyes filled with tears, but there was no emotion left in mine. I stood up, walked to the door, and said to the room, "You all rehearsed your lies. I hope you remember the script. You'll need it." And then I left. For a while, I stayed silent. Blocked her. Changed my number. I thought that would be the end. But 2 weeks later, I got a message from an unknown number. Her father. She told me everything. "I just wanted you to know, you made the right choice." I didn't reply. I just stared at the text, then at the plane ticket on my desk. Tokyo. One way. When the plane took off, I finally exhaled. For the first time in months, I didn't feel watched, manipulated, or tested. I just felt free. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's quiet. It's peace. It's walking away while the people who hurt you finally hear their own echoes. Final update that it's been 12 months since that night. 12 months since the TV screen lit up with betrayal and silence swallowed the room. I don't think about her every day anymore. But sometimes, when the city goes quiet and my phone glows in the dark, I remember the sound of her voice when she realized the game was over. Now, I live in Kyoto. My apartment overlooks the Kamo River, small, peaceful, a world away from where I was. I freelance as a translator for an international tech firm. The same one, coincidentally, that Dylan's company tried to pitch to last quarter. Their proposal was rejected. By me. Not out of revenge, just business. But when I saw his name in the submission email, I couldn't help but smile. Life has a sense of irony sharper than any plan I could have made. That night, I went out to a quiet bar near Gion. Jazz playing softly, rain misting the windows. I was halfway through my drink when I heard a voice behind me. Soft, uncertain, familiar. "Ethan." I turned. It was Lydia, one of the coven. Her expression was a mix of surprise and regret. She looked older, quieter, as if the past year had taken something from her, too. "You live here?" she asked, almost whispering. "Yeah," I said. "Been here a while." She, she wanted me to tell you she's sorry. For everything. I sipped my drink. "She doesn't owe me that anymore." Lydia nodded. She's not with Dylan anymore. Didn't last long after. Everything came out. She's been in therapy. There was genuine sadness in her voice. Not pity, not manipulation. Just truth. She said you were the only person who ever stayed calm when she was at her worst, Lydia added. That's because I already knew, I said quietly. People show you who they are. You just have to believe them. Lydia gave a small, almost broken smile. You really moved on, huh? I had to. Staying angry keeps you in the same room with people who hurt you. I left that room. We said goodbye. She walked into the night, and I walked home under the Kyoto rain, feeling something I hadn't felt in years. Peace, not from closure, but from distance. When I reached my apartment, I checked my phone. A message from my new girlfriend, May, waited on the screen. Made dinner. Hurry home before it gets cold, red heart. I smiled. Not all endings are about revenge. Sometimes, the best revenge is just a life so quiet. The people who broke you can't even hear you anymore.